I'm on page 35. This is exercise 3A in the Getting to Know ArcGIS for Desktop 3rd edition textbook. And we need start ArcMap, so I'm going to go to my start button here, and ArcMap is here. You may have to go to all programs and search for it, but I've used it recently, so it's available here. And it's firing up now. And we've got the Getting Started dialog box here, and under Existing Maps, we want to go to Browse for More. And we want to go to our Chapter 3 folder. Now, you may have installed this on your M drive, but I put it in a folder called SRepress, GTK, Getting to Know ArcGIS, Chapter 3. And we want 03A MXD. If the MXD doesn't show up, don't worry about it. That just means you've got an option turned off in Windows. And all of the map files have MXD as a file extension. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to click on Open, and now we're on page 37. And we get a map of the world. This looks like what we see on page 37, but it's a little bit smaller. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the full extent button up here, which will expand the map so that it fills as much of the area here as it can. Okay, now we're on page 38. And the table of contents is over here on the left. And we want to click the checkbox next to cities to turn the layer off. So these are the layers, and they're in order. Ocean is on the bottom. Countries are put on top of that. Latitude, longitude, which is these gray horizontal and vertical lines here. And then cities are placed on top of that. So I'm going to just click on that and turn it off. And now the cities are gone. And they're down here in the not visible area, and now I'm going to click the little icon to the left here, and that'll turn it back on. And we can toggle all of these. We can get rid of or see as much stuff as we want to here. I'm going to put latitude and longitude back on. I'm going to put countries back on. I'm going to put the ocean back on. And it was smart enough to put them back in the same order. You can drag and drop these. You should be able to. Let's try that. Apparently I can't drag and drop these. Let's try that. And it's not letting me do it. And the reason it's not is because under table of contents here, I want to have list by drawing order turned on. And now it shows me the layers, and now these are the checkboxes they were referring to, and now I should be able to drag these up and down. You see I get that little line in there, and I'm going to drag that all the way down to the bottom here, and now I can't see them because I'm drawing everything else on top of them. And we want to move it back up to where it belongs, which is up here at the top, so keep dragging it until it gets above the latitude and longitude. And there's some on your own experimenting to do over here that you can do on your own. We're not going to do it in the video. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rename cities. So right click on it, and one of the options on our pop-up menu should be properties way down here at the bottom. And we'll get a dialog box with a bunch of tabs across the top here. And general is the one that we want, and this is the name of our layer. And right now it says cities. And let's flip over to the top of page 42. And what we want to do is change this to cities, and then a greater than sign, and then 1 million. And I guess they capitalized the M, so we will too. Okay, let's click on OK. And down here, where it says pop, we want to right click. Actually, just click on it twice and it'll open up. And we're going to change this from pop to population. And then we want to turn on, I'm on the bottom of page 42 now, number 12, we want to select the checkbox next to world population here and turn that on, but nothing happened. The reason nothing happened is because it's below countries. Let's try dragging it up above countries. And there we go. Now our map should be pretty close to the one on page 43. And another way to do this that they showed us was, or they talk about in the book, is leave countries there, but turn it off, and now it's not visible anymore, so that's pretty much the same as if we had dragged world population up. Okay, now we want to turn off cities greater than 1 million, and we want to turn off the latitude and longitude. And I skipped the on your own part here, and the on your own part said to change this. We'll just click on it twice, and that said change the long layer name to graticule. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. And hit enter. Okay, so we want to turn those two layers off. Now I'm on 14 on page 43. I want to check the plus sign next to world population, and that will reveal a legend underneath. And this should match the bottom of page 43. Now let's go to page 44. On the Tools toolbar, pause the mouse pointer over the Identify tool, which is this little white and blue eye. And we want to select that, so click on it, and then we're going to move it over one of the two darkest items here, and we're going to click. And it tells us that this is India. So we get this little dialog box here that shows us the information that is related, that's stored in a database that's related to this country. And you can kind of figure out from some of these what the names of the fields are. Country name is going to be India, long name is country Republic of India. And then we got a bunch of other fields here. And sometimes you can figure out what they stand for, and sometimes you can't. We'll close that dialog box. We'll click on the other one over here, and that looks like China. And if you go down to country name here, it tells you that it is China. And now we're going to close the Identify window, and I'm going to turn off the world population layer. And now I want to turn on the air pollution layer right here, and now our picture should match the bottom of page 45. And it says turn the world population layer on and off, and what they're kind of looking for here is they want to see if there's any correlation. Actually, let's open this up. So red is the worst pollution, green is the best. So let's turn this on again. So that's where the high pollution areas are. These are the best kind of up here in most of the northern hemisphere. So it looks like Africa is the worst and the northern hemisphere appears to be the best. So let's do population here. And it doesn't seem that there is any correlation between the two. So now we're on page 46, number 20 in the table of contents. Right-click countries and choose its properties. Every one of these layers has some data hiding behind it, and this is how you get to the data that's hiding behind it. We want to click on the Source tab, and this gives us information, especially right here, of where on our computer the data is located that we're retrieving this layer from. And it says, what is the name of the feature class? And the name of the feature class is countries. The feature class is what it is that you're drawing. And which geodatabase is it located in? This is the database right here. They don't say geodatabase, but guess what GDB stands for? So it's in the world database. What are the names of the source feature classes for these two layers? I skipped a step. 21. Look at the source data set for world population. So let's right click on that and choose properties. And same data set it looks like. And the other one they want us to check is air pollution by country. Let's right click on this and go to properties, and that's also coming from the world database. Okay, let's close that and let's turn to page 48. Close the layer properties at the top of the table of contents. Click the list by source button, and if we pause our mouse over these, they each tell us what they are, and so on list by source. And let me widen this a little bit so I can see the entire name. And it looks like everything is subordinate to this world GDB. So it's all coming out of the same database. Click the list by drawing order button. And it goes back to what we're going to be looking at most of the time when we're dealing with this. And if we want to save our work, let's go to our File tab and do a Save As. And we'd like to preserve the originals here, so I think what we'll do is we will go to the end here and just put a hyphen and then put your last name and save it. So we got both the original and the one that we've modified, although our modifications in here have been pretty minor. And that takes us to the end of exercise 3A.